I don't know why, like, not even 2 minutes into starting the live, and people want to act crazy. You don't need to tell them to chill. I ejected them from the conversation. We're not doing that today. We're not doing that today at all. So, oh, we're just gonna. You're so prompt. My brother, Beautifina, what's going on? Did I wait to you properly? Hi. Hold on 1 second.
What's going
I
on?
wasn't expecting you to come that quickly. Oh, that sounded weird. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that.
It's cool.
How do I get back to where I was?
Um,
Oh, there we are. Okay, wait. No, I'm trying not to cancel you. Okay, sorry. Y'all know that I'm a rookie when it comes to this. Okay, so, why is it hard? The question of the day. Hi, how are you? Sorry, let me not be rude. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good, thank you. So do you want to introduce yourself? Should I introduce you? I think it's better if
Um,
you introduce yourself.
okay. Well, hello everybody. My name is Humble King, also known as Rmar Meade's dad.
You have to talk
Uh,
louder. We can't hear you. I'm
let
louder than you. Yeah. I have to
turn
turn the
my phone
volume.
up. All right, how's that? It's better?
Yeah, much better.
All right, yeah. So Humble King, aka Amanda's dad. I have a traveling business, RM Travels. Um, cook a little bit here and there. You know what I mean? Do my thing in the kitchen. But the most thing I'm proud of is being a good father and always speaking positivity and light into people, and just embracing that positivity.
Okay. I feel like your volume is low.
It might be my AC over. Let me just turn this off.
Well, I don't want you to turn up because you're gonna get hot and like I
I
don't want you
mean,
over there dying in the heat.
I won't die. It's not that bad.
Okay.
Is that much better though?
We'll have to kind of see as it goes because I don't know. I feel like I'm like super loud.
No, you're good.
Okay. Okay. So, for those of you who did not hear, this is Mr. Humble King 79, 79, 69, 79.
Yes, sir.
Also
Hey,
better known as Amanda's dad.
yes, Amanda's dad,
um,
very much so.
yes, that's cool. How are you doing? How is everything? Before we get into the discussion, we'll just do kind of like a check-in with everybody. How are you doing? How is everything? You are in Brooklyn, New York?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York, but I live in the Bronx now. Uh,
You live in the Bronx. Okay.
yeah, my daughter lives in the Bronx, so I had to stay in the Bronx to be close to her. So no more Brooklyn.
Oh,
But yeah, so it's going pretty good. I mean, it was a little crazy out here for a while, but it's pretty cool for the most part. Um, I mean, everybody, New Yorkers are going around like nothing's never happened. Like we just gonna keep moving
yeah.
on. We get a
You
hot
guys,
day, we going out. It don't matter.
right. You guys, I don't know. I feel like New Yorkers, nothing phases you guys. Like you take everything in stride. Like it has to be some. I think if like Godzilla, aliens, just like if a bunch of things were to happen at one time, you guys would still be kind of like, nah, it's another
Yeah,
day in New York.
I mean, if Godzilla come in, we probably be on a pier like, oh, they's taking selfies and shit, like trying to get a picture with it. But we don't
Okay.
care. I mean, some people run from danger. New Yorkers, like, they be like, oh, what's going on over there? Let's go see what's going on. Like, people know, New Yorkers are nosy, and they don't care, because it's New York is a very, very, very busy town, and you have to be tough to live in New York, because a lot of thick-skinned people live in New York, so you got to be tough.
Okay. All right. All right. I feel you. I feel you. So,
Yeah.
welcome. We are going to be talking about. Okay. So, I had come across this meme that said loyalty is a choice. And it basically is a caricature of a man proposing to a woman, and behind him, he's got like three women tugging at him. And
Okay.
behind her, she's got three men tugging at her. Kinks with Kiki, my love, what's going on? She's got men tugging at her, trying to pull them away. And then it says loyalty is a choice. So, I thought about it, and you and I have had many a
Yeah.
conversation. You've also been in the hot seat, which is really dope.
Right.
But I thought, like you would be a good person to have this discussion with because I know that you're very broad-minded and broad thinking. And also too, because you're a girl dad and
Yeah,
how that
definitely.
plays out, right, and how that plays out in terms of um not even just you personally with relationships, but a man raising a daughter and how that shifts in his mind in terms of the types of relationships that he pursues and all that kind of stuff, and whether or not loyalty is a choice versus a forced option, or like we can talk more about the semantics and the definition of it.
Definitely.
Um so then my first question to you would be, what for you is the definition of loyalty?
Um, for me, loyalty is just having somebody that's going to be there through thick and thin, to hold you down when things aren't going right, when you're falling, to hold you down when you're not around, to speak power into your name when people talk bad about you. So that's loyalty. But everybody has their own different view of loyalty. It all depends on what they grew up with and what they've seen from their parents. So for me, that would be loyalty. Just the way you represent me when I'm not around, the way you represent us when I'm not around, and the fact that nothing can come between us until we have a discussion about it. Like you can't just say, "Hey, oh, my friend seen you was talking this, and this," and that nudge nudge something into our relationship is, "Hey, my girlfriend saw you in such, or wasn't it? Oh yeah, remember I told you I was going to lunch with my coworkers. Yeah, I saw your friend out there." Like it's not just an automatic assumption. It's a, oh, I know he already told me about this, or I'm gonna talk to him when he get home, and we just figure it out. But it has to be strong ties between me and you that nobody can break. If we break up, it's between something that we mutually agree on, not what other people said. So the loyalty has to be strong between us.
Okay. So I know that you ran a poll on your page asking the question, loyalty of choice. I
Right.
echoed that and read it on the podcast page, is loyalty of choice. I didn't have that many people who responded, but of the respondents, it was like 80-20. So 20% of the people said, yes, it is a choice. And
Okay.
the other 80% said, no, loyalty is not a choice.
All right. I didn't even check my poll to see. I'm gonna check it right now and
Okay.
see what the number is at,
Yeah.
real quick, just to see
I'm
where
turning
we.
this down. Noise. So, Mr. Wright just responded. He said loyalty is a lifestyle. So that's an actual interesting response.
It definitely could be because a lot of people don't know how to be loyal from the beginning. Like a lot of people are raised to be cutthroat. Well, don't trust nobody. Whatever you do, you gotta
Right.
do it on your own. You get what I'm saying? So it all depends on how people were raised and what type of information they're given as they grow older. But as you grow older, I think as you become a man or a woman, you start to make your own decisions and be like, my mom said this, but I don't think that's the right way. I'm gonna go with it this way and see where I come with it. It all depends on the person.
Do you think that someone can affect another person's idea or interpretation of what loyalty is based on how loyal they are to a person?
Um,
Or
it
does that
depends
have
on
to come from the person?
it would depend on how influential that person is in your life. Because like I was just saying, like, suppose your parents tell you, this is a cutthroat world. You're supposed to do this way. You're supposed to live this way. But if you're around people and the same dynamic is the same, you're gonna start to think that way. Like it's like if you hang around winners, you're gonna always have that winning mentality. If you hang around people that complain all the time and don't want to do nothing but sit on the couch, smoke weed all the time, you know what's gonna happen? 9 times out of 10, you're gonna want to just stay around the house, smoke weed, and chill in the house because you know what? That's what the people you hang out with most is doing. You fall into what you hang around. Me myself, I try to be around a lot of people that's positive, that have a lot of good things going on in their life, so that way I can learn from them and also give them feedback on what I'm learning, so that way we can all grow together and get better. Because at the end of the day, loyalty is so different now than it was back then.
How so?
You know, because I could say when I was growing up, if my boy was messing with a girl and they broke up, loyalty says she's off limits to any of the clique. It don't matter who
Right.
we hang with. We don't talk to her because loyalty is my boy. No matter if it's 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, we're not going to talk to her. She can come back thick as hell. Don't matter. We don't mess with her because one of our people's had that already. That's off limits. Like we don't recycle. It don't go.
Even after 10 years.
Even after 10 years, you don't do it. You don't do it. That's loyalty to me. Like that's old school loyalty. Like, I mean, it's just a code. You just don't mess with people that your friends mess with. I mean, yeah, you might miss out on somebody that may be right for you, but at the end of the day, what if it's not right for you? What if your boy finds out and he's like, damn, like, you know, your chick tried to holler at me 4 years ago and I didn't do it. Like, I stayed loyal to you. So it's that loyalty right there is also a good thing to do. I'm trying to get to my poll, but all right, there you
So,
go.
no, that's fine. So I'm looking at the comments as they're going by, and it's mostly the gentlemen in the feed are saying that you're right. That regardless of how much time has passed, if one of your boys is dealing with a woman, she's off limits. It could be 50 years that go by. She's just not an option for anybody that's in the circle. So, but okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate because that's what I do. So if
Okay.
you because you just said that you may be missing out on an opportunity for like she might be your one. Like if she
Right.
wasn't his one, you know what I mean? That's just one person on the planet. How
Right.
do you know that she's not the person that you're supposed to be with if 10 years has gone by? How do you not take a chance? Or better
Okay.
question. Okay. So when we're like 16, we look
Mm-hmm.
different.
Right.
You're now 36. You don't recognize her. And you and her meet,
Mm-hmm.
and like you're like, oh my gosh, I met this woman, she's fantastic, we've been kicking it, she's fabulous, da, 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 da. You say this to your best friend, and he says, yo, don't you remember that so and so, she was my girlfriend when we were like 16, 17. Do you then, after like you're feeling her, you guys are vibing nicely, everything's going good between the two of you, it's been 20 years, you are now adults versus when you were children, do you say to yourself, okay, well, I got to go and tell her that this can't go on because 20 years ago, when you were a kid, she was your homeboy's girl?
So in a scenario like that, if I told my boy like I became with this girl, he told me, and I'm like, yo, bro, I didn't even recognize her. How do you feel about that? And he's like, bro, that was 20 years ago. You good? If I get his blessing to continue, and he knows that, then I'm going with it. But if he's like, nah, bro, like, I'm like, all right, bro, I feel you. I won't do that then, because if that's just how it is. Like, I'm
How are
sorry.
you
Like,
gonna, how can somebody be in their feelings about something that happened 20? And the thing is, okay, it's even worse if he knows he doesn't want her, he's married, he's in a whole nother relationship. How does he get to determine what happened 20 years before when you guys were kids? No, that's
but
done.
if 9 times out of 10, if he's my friend and he's in a relationship and he's married, he's gonna be like, do your thing, bro. I'm good on this side. Like, I got mines. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, a real friend's gonna be like, I'm good. I got mines together. Now this might be yours. Go for it. But you also have
Okay.
those friends that's gonna be like, nah, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That was my number one sweetheart. I used to love her. How you gonna do that to me? You know how some guys are.
Yes.
I'm just saying, I'm
Yes.
just putting scenarios out there. I'm not saying
Yeah,
none of my
no, I
guys are
know.
like this, but I'm just putting a scenario together. You know, some guys are selfish like that, where they're like, well, if I can't have it, nobody else can. And you know, that's a judgment that you're just gonna have to be like, you know what, bro? Like, if it really bothers you that much, if you see me with her, then you know what I mean. I'm gonna let it ride.
Right. Okay. So Mr. Wright says the only way you can go out with your boy's ex is if, sorry, hold on, it keeps closing off. A lot of his mercy. Everybody, how much I hate this thing. The only way you can go out with your boy's ex is if you speak to your boy first and he agrees that everything is fine. He mustn't have feelings
Right.
for her though, guy code. Crazed driver, you are responding from a female's point of view. He's telling us the way it is from a man's point of view. I know that, thanks. Mr. Right again, true AJ, but if he's your boy and you're loyal, you got to make sure it doesn't affect his mind or his heart. And I understand that. I'm not even saying that I don't, because I think that maybe women have less of a code than guys do, because y'all are a little bit strange when it comes to some shit like that, especially like 20 years ago, vagina. I don't know. But I understand it. I'm not even saying that I don't understand it. My whole thing is it's like if he has moved on and he's in a whole other relationship, an adult relationship, married even, I feel like he doesn't have the right to have feelings or any kind of real opinion about what happened 20 years ago, especially if you and her, okay, so suppose 2 months, 3 months goes by and you guys are vibing nice. You know, you guys are feeling each other. Everything is going and good. You tell your boy about her and he's like, oh, don't you remember that was so-and-so from when we were like kids? And then you say to him, okay, like, so what's good? And he's like, nah, you know, I still feel some type of way. So now you're expected to curb your feelings for her because 20 years later, he's in his jealousy and can't get over the fact. Like
Like I said, it all depends on the situation and where he's at in his life. But like I said, it all depends like on my friend. I know my friends would probably be like, nah, bro, I'm good on this side. Like, do your thing. If that's something that you in, something that's making you happy, I wouldn't want to stop you from happiness. My boys will probably push for me to keep it moving. You know what I mean? Because they want to see me happy as well. But like I said, there's always that one guy that's like, nah, bro. Like, you know, that was my main sweetheart back in the day, man. I don't know how I feel about that. So that's a situation where it all depends on the friends and when your friends and how it goes.
okay, so let me play
So
devil's advocate
yeah,
again.
Dora has something interesting to say.
Okay, read it.
She said, I was in a similar scenario. I was with my kid's father and a friend of a family. They all knew both of us. So when I separated from my kid's father, I started dating the family friend.
See, that's a little close to home, but I
That's
don't
a
have an
little,
opinion about that.
I mean, I, I mean, listen, it's different for a man than it is for women because I think girl code is so totally different. Girl code is way different from guy code. I really think it is. I think girls are like, well, if you ain't want him and y'all ain't dating for the past 3 or 4 months, and he's fair game. I think that's how it is. Guys are more or less, they'll hold that shit for 10 years. Like, nah, we don't fuck with her because she was fucking with my boy. Like I said, it all depends on the pack of friendship. If y'all been friends since high school and y'all friends now that you're in your 30s, that's a tight pack. Like, that's damn near your family. That's not even your brother no more. That's not even your friend. That's like your family because y'all been friends for
Right,
so long. But like,
right.
that's why I said it's just two different scenarios.
I don't know what happened. It just all of a sudden kicked me off. So I don't know if Instagram is upset about our conversation. I'm not sure. But, everybody please come back and join us. I really don't know what happened. It just all of a sudden said that the live ended, and I promise you I didn't touch anything. I swear to you I didn't touch anything. Normally, like, I am, like I'll touch something and something bad will happen, but I promise you this time I didn't touch anything, so I don't know. But thank you everyone for coming back.
IG's not loyal. Crosses them, trust me. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. It just all of a sudden said that it ended.
The
I was
loyalty
like, I
ended.
don't know if
The
IG's
loyalty was over
Instagram
with that live.
feelings. Right. They're not enjoying the conversation. We're snitching on people or something. I don't know. They're like, nah, we're not here for it tonight at all.
Yeah,
So,
that's cool though.
so the question I wanted to ask, the other devil's advocate question. So suppose it's one of your boys, but he's in his feelings about everything and doesn't want nobody to be with nobody. Like if you know that he's a selfish kind of person where like he
Right.
wants all the girls and doesn't want nobody to find love except him. If you know that he's that kind of person and he says, nah, that was my girl from 20 years ago. That was my teenage love. Yeah, I'm married. Yeah, I've got a whole family. Yeah, I've moved on with life. But would you still take his feelings into
It
consideration
would,
and
it,
say,
it would
"Hmm,
definitely be a different conversation. It'd probably be
okay,
something
okay,
along the lines like, bro, you got married. You found your forever. I'm trying to find
right,
mine. Are you gonna stop me?
right,
Like, I didn't do it on purposely, meeting her and talking to her. It's been 20
right,
years. I haven't seen her. Like, this was something that just happened. And you know, if he still feels some type of way about it, being that he's married, I would just be like, you know what, bro, you're going to have to take this L because you're happy and I'm
okay,
trying to get to where you at. But
okay,
remember, that's only if he's that type of guy. If he's that
right,
type of guy that don't want to see nobody happy and he's married
right,
already, he got like 6 kids and he's, no, I'm not gonna
okay.
like be like, nah, bro. But if he was
So there,
single,
there, so then there's different levels to consideration
right,
based on a couple of things, if I'm understanding you correctly.
right,
Based
basically,
on
yeah.
the history that you have
Hmm.
with your friend, like how long you've been friends, whether or not they legitimately feel some type of way, and they're not just trying to be selfish and be an asshole because they don't want nobody to be happy but themselves.
Exactly, exactly.
Um, Yeah, so it's basically those two things. But you're saying for the most part, if it's somebody that you know who is grounded, stable in a relationship, this is somebody from 20 years in the past, most likely he'll be like, do you be happy? You
Right.
have my blessing kind of thing.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So then that's friendship loyalty. So now let's
Right.
touch on relationship loyalty.
Okay.
So I know people are saying that loyalty is a lifestyle and loyalty is a choice. So then my question is, and not because you've ever done this, that's not the assumption or the basis for the question, but my question is if you can hypothesize on if people are so committed in their relationships and loyalty is such a big thing for them, why do people stray in their relationships or have those mishaps or, oh, I just slipped or it just happened, it didn't mean anything type of moment, I love you, la 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 la.
Well, there's like four to five different type of men in the world. There's the one that's honest and straight up. There's the one that's uh, honest most of the time, but hides the stuff that'll hurt you because you don't want to hurt you. And there's the ones that's just don't care. They're gonna do what they want to do regardless because they feel they're the man. And then there's the ones that's narcissists that feel like they're the ones they like you're lucky to have me. So whatever, if I go out and I come back, you're lucky I came back. You know. So to answer that, I would have to say it's all depends on the man because a man is not going to cheat unless he's given a reason to cheat. If he's in love with you and y'all been building and growing, it's either two reasons he probably cheated. One, y'all two are both arguing like crazy and y'all both are not spending time and you're not communicating with each other. You're doing your thing, he's doing his thing, and in between that lines, y'all not connecting and talking to each other. So when you go out, you on your phone, you being sneaky. So you know what? I'm gonna be out on my phone being sneaky, and you know what happens? Y'all both wind up being sneaky and doing something. Sometimes the female won't do it. Female are more inclined to not cheat until they're ready to go, where they found the person that they ready to cheat with and go next level with. They gonna take that step when they ready to walk out the door.
Right.
Men will do it and come back and be like, fuck, I didn't mean to do that, but I did it. Like I was upset, I was in my feelings, and that's lack of communication. And then you have the guys that's just there's no loyalty. There's like, you know what, I'm the man. There was more women than us, so I can do it. Why would God put so many women in the world if I couldn't have more than one? That's you know what I mean? Like that's the mind frame some people have. You get what I'm saying? So
yes,
it's just so many like for instance, if you're in a relationship and everything you've been with somebody for 10 years and in the 11th year you're starting to see changes in each other's attitude towards each other. But nobody speaks on it. Nobody says, hey, listen, what's going on with you today? Like, you don't talk to me. Like, you didn't even try to touch me last night. What's going on? And y'all just act like nothing's wrong and keep going. All it takes is for her to just be like, I'm going out with the girls. And you call and you hear some funny shit. Oh, now I'm on my shit. Fuck that. I'm on my shit. Like, you're going to automatically assume, since she's out doing her, now I have the free range to go do me. Then you go do you. You fuck up. You cheat. She wasn't doing nothing. She was just at her friend's house. They had a stripper came in unexpectedly. She didn't even know. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And now you done made this whole scenario up in your head, and you done boom, stepped out. Yeah, have a conversation, and she's like, "So I have a feeling that you cheated on me." All right, you confess to it, and you're like, "Well, you was cheating on me. You told me to go out with the girls. I see you over there. I hear strippers in the background. This and that. Why you lie?" So I figured you was doing what you wanted to do, so I did what I wanted to do. And then she tells you this whole scenario about what happened, and it's just a difference of lack of communication.
So, okay, I gotta throw a monkey wrench in 1 second
Okay.
though. So my brother had commented, I don't understand how loyalty is a choice when it's a characteristic of a person. So in saying that, and in tagging on what you just said, do you feel like that man, deep down inside of him, wants to cheat, but was waiting for the perfect storm, you know what I mean, or the perfect opportunity. Because, you know, part of it is, like you said, communication. But I think also some of it is moral integrity as well. Because it's like,
Right.
even if you call and you hear something on the phone, to automatically predetermine that she's fucking or there's a guy there or she's doing
Mm-hmm.
something that you want to do, I feel like it's a made up scenario in your head so that you can say, okay, well, now's my opportunity. Let me go out, instead of saying to yourself, you know what? Let me sit here and be pissed and
Uh-huh.
confront her when she gets back
Exactly.
and find out what happened. So, you know, so like what my brother is saying, like that's loyalty is a characteristic. So does that mean that that person has less loyalty ingrained in them because they've chosen to go out based on something that they heard and what they made up in their head?
I honestly don't think it has nothing to do with loyalty. I think it has to do with self-esteem. I think that person is either has a little bit of jealousy inside of them, and you know, and they also have a low self-esteem because I just feel like this is my take on every person I date. I'm going to give you my all, and I'm not going to worry about who you're dealing with and who you're talking to because you know what? I'm a good ass man. I'm gonna take care. I'm gonna take care of the kids, whatever it is. I'm gonna do it. So if you decide to step out on me, I know I did what I had to do to make sure this family is right. That's something you lost. So jealousy is not in my DNA. I don't have it. I'm not worried about what you're doing because at the end of the day, I know what I bring to the table and I know what I'm going to offer. But at the same time, there's men that just, like I said, have different characteristics about them, and loyalty for them is a choice because for them it's a choice because they don't know how to separate the loyalty, the jealousy, and the I just said it was the got tongue tied the
It's okay.
self-esteem.
Okay.
So they don't know how to separate the three things. And all actuality, the loyalty brings all that together. Because when you're loyal, you don't have self-esteem because you know that person's going to be loyal to you. That trust is there. That loyalty brings in trust. And you're not going to be jealous because that person's going to make you know that they're there for you all the time with the loyalty and trust that you have no reason to be jealous. So you just have
Okay.
to pay attention to those aspects.
Right. So, you know, this is a story that I've told before, and I use it as reference several times. So many, many years ago, when I was dating, I found out that the man I was with cheated on me with several women that I knew personally.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so when I finally found out and I confronted him, at first he lied, even though I have blatant proof, blatant. He lied. He lied in front of the woman that he was cheating on me with. And the look on her face was like, you know, it was one of those moments where I guess he had been filling her head with, oh, we're going to be together. I'm just
Right.
waiting for the perfect moment to break up with AJ.
Mm-hmm.
And so in front of her, he lies and says, no, nothing ever happened. So later on, when we went home and I confronted him about it and we had the argument or whatever, his rationale was his closest friend um, found it difficult to believe that someone that looked the way that I looked could be interested in someone that looked the way that he looked because he was nerdy looking, like he was geeky looking, and I loved him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But they kept saying, filling his head with this, oh, a girl like that is never going to be loyal to you, someone like you, a girl that popular, she's got all these guys after her, she's never going to be loyal to you. And I tell you, on everything that I love, I never cheated on that man because my heart and my loyalty and my love was to him. I didn't care that he wore glasses and was book smart and wasn't, because secretly under the pink hair and the sexiness, I'm an absolute total nerd. My daughter will tell you that all day long. But none of that mattered to me. You know what I mean? Like, you were the man that I loved. You were the man but his rationale was he decided to cheat on me first before I cheated on him, so that if I cheated on him, then he wouldn't feel bad because he'd already gotten me first. But if I never cheated on him and never found out, then it would be okay. It was some fucking ridiculous explanation about having like that ace in your back pocket kind of bullshit. And I
Yeah.
was like, what? Yeah.
But he let his friends talk him into that because, and you know, peer pressure is a mother. Peer pressure make you do some things that you never really want to do, like get a tattoo or take
Hey,
shots
hey,
that
hey,
you know you ain't
stop
supposed
that.
to. I mean, I love tattoos too. I'm just saying, like, doing something stupid, like get a tattoo on your ass as a guy. Like, why would you do some dumb shit like that? But
Right.
peer pressure makes you do, and plus, not having strong self-esteem didn't help him either. Because once the guys put that in his head, his self-esteem dropped, and he was like, "Oh my God, how do I have her?" You're right. It just automatically just dropped to the floor. Before he was all proud to have you, and he wasn't thinking about it. But once talking to his friends, made his self-esteem drop to the floor. And like Dr. A said, he's a dumbass. Like he's a dumbass. Like I don't know how you can do that. I just think that as men and women, if you feel that a way, if my boys come to me and say, you know what, I think AJ playing with you because she's just too bad, and I have a slight thought of that. That night we'll have, hey, tell me how you feel about me. Do you think there's somebody else better out there for me to get my self-esteem back to where I need it to be? That way I won't be leaving the house wondering if you're doing something you ain't got no business doing.
Right.
I need to hear from you that this is where you know what I mean? If that's the self-esteem you need to build you back up.
Right.
And that's some things as men we don't do. We don't communicate well sometimes. We're really bad at communicating sometimes when it comes to our true feelings. Especially when it comes to love in our heart, like because we scared to let our heart. We'll let our heart go for our kids, our moms. There's no question about that. Our moms and our kids will see every inch of the simplest and sweetest man ever. But when you get close to a woman and you're starting to have that effect, like yo, I'm really falling for this girl, and then you're like, but what if she plays me? You know what I mean? Like that's self-esteem. You gotta tighten up and you gotta talk. And that's where uneasy conversations comes in. You gotta have uneasy conversations.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
So on the flip side of that, okay, so as a man dating a woman.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm framing the question in my head.
Okay.
So you know this woman to be a loyal woman.
Right.
And for whatever reason, like you said, maybe you guys aren't having a conversation as regularly. Maybe intimacy has kind of waned a little bit. You're not spending time with each other as much as you used to. And she starts spending more time at work, later nights at work, hanging out with the work husband, getting a lift home from the work husband, and this, that, and the third. Because you're not having conversation and she's starting to feel emotionally neglected and physically neglected, and all the compliments and all the things that you used to do at the beginning of the relationship you're not doing anymore, and she has an indiscretion with the work husband, but she comes and she tells you about it. Obviously you're going to look at her differently, but does that take a knock on her loyalty to you? Based on everything within the scenario, not just the fact that she had this indiscretion.
Yeah, because as a woman, you are master communicators. And if you're not communicating that you're feeling some type of distance and some void in our relationship, that must mean that somebody else is grabbing the attention and filling the void. So, you didn't want to talk about it because you had somebody else doing what I wasn't doing. So
what if she tried to talk to you, but you were unwilling to listen? What if you kept saying to her, we're good, everything is fine, I'm good, I'm okay, just don't feel like talking?
Then you have nobody to blame but yourself, because you did not be honest with your feelings. You didn't voice your concerns. You didn't express your concerns. You didn't, basically, you didn't handle what needed to be handled when it needed to be handled. You let it go on and go on and go on and go on without no talking about it. And as a woman, you only could talk so much. I know this for a fact. Women are only going to talk so much. They're going to tell you that something bothers them, but only so many times. After a certain amount of time, it's like, you know what? I'm not saying nothing else about this. You'll see. So, it's not a knock on her loyalty, especially if she was talking to you and telling you how she felt, where she was coming. But as a man, I'm gonna put this out there. If you see she's starting to come home late, what time you say you leaving? Oh, okay. I'm there a half an hour before to see what time you're leaving out. We need to talk. This is like the third night in a row you stay late. I don't like this. You got to step up. You got to take charge. You got to, in a situation like that, you got to show your woman that she's your woman and that you want her. Because if you don't, she's going to do like you said in the scenario, indiscretion with the work husband, because he's there. He's giving her everything that you ain't giving her. Plus, she doesn't have to be with him and for most of the night. She sees him every few hours a day.
Right.
So,
is there a way to? Okay, so someone's loyalty comes into question. Let's say in a relationship, just within the actual relationship, no external factors, but one of two people's loyalty comes into question based on certain things that have happened. You guys just continue with the relationship.
Right.
Is there a way to recover when a person? Is there a way for a person to recover and prove themselves and bring their measure of loyalty back to where it was after they've fallen? Or does that tarnish stay there no matter what? I've forgiven you. I've decided to stay in the relationship, but you'll always be. Does the person always stay at that level, or is there a way for them to recover and put themselves back up on high? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. But that all depends on you, the woman. You know why? Are you going to be able to get past that and not throw it in our face every time we have an argument? Are you going to be able to...
What if it's the other way around and it's the man and the woman? What if it's the other way around?
So if it's the other way around, then as the man, the same way a man would have to jump through hoops to show that he wants to be in this relationship and do everything he needs to do, she needs to do the same thing. She needs to prove herself in the relationship as well. I don't think it's a gender topic when it comes to proving yourself to love after trying to make the relationship work. If I say to you, listen, we both made mistakes, I love you like with all my heart, and I'm willing to work past getting this, making this relationship grow. What are you willing to do? If she's not willing to put in the 10 times as much work as I am or more because she was the one that cheated and not me, then you have to let it go. But as a man, you also have to not bring it in her face, not throw up, or when you did this, or if she's running late, have a flashback of what she was doing late before and automatically assume she's doing that. You got to suppress your feelings and let her show you that she's doing what she has to do for you. As long as you keep bringing up old stuff and you keep having that mindset that every time she go out she's doing something, y'all will never be able to grow past that. And it's the same vice versa for a woman.
Okay. So Planet 85 said, I think it's possible just a long road to recovery. Mr. Wright said, men have an ego. Oh, this keeps disappearing. Sorry. If damage to that ego is too severe and he cannot repair it, then that man will never be the same. And my brother Bearded Phenom said, it's not easy because loyalty is not trust. Trust being earned isn't loyalty being given. That's very deep. Mr. Wright again, I believe then that a woman can return to a high loyalty level, but he'll always have this itch to keep an eye on her. His trust will be very conflicting. So those are actually really good points because one balances the other ultimately. So it's like, her loyalty for the most part will always be in question if the trust isn't repaired properly.
That's correct.
And vice versa. Like if the man's his loyalty will always be in question and she'll always be wondering, like, who's he looking at, who's he with, who's he, is he bringing the extra coffee for the work wife, whatever it is, his loyalty will always be in question if the trust is not repaired properly, or if there's a rush to the process, or like you said, if one of those individuals is
No, I was saying something. Beast King, yeah, it's my guy right there.
Yeah, he's saying, Mike, talk your shit. You guys are crazy. But yeah, it definitely is important that, if so the long road to recovery starts with forgiveness. Yes. And not just forgiveness as lip service, forgiveness is actual forgiveness and working towards that. Because, the person can't get back to a place of being loyal if you're always reminding them about the shit that they did that you said you forgave them for.
If a question
for Humble King.
Yeah, if a woman ever questions your loyalty, what can you do to place her at ease? Yeah, I got it. All right. So if
Okay.
a woman ever questions my loyalty, the best thing I could do to put it at ease is with my actions. Um, Actions speak louder than words. That's how I feel. I could say a million things, but if I'm not doing it, then it's just falling to the ground. So, like, if it wasn't nothing cheated, suppose I say I'm going to pick her up at 5 and I'm always late because I always wind up staying late at work and doing things like that. That's something that I have to change as a man in my timing. I have to get my timing together. So instead of I say I'm picking up at 5, I'm there at 4:45 from now on. Hey, babe, I'm here early because and that's my way of showing her that she could trust me to be there when she needs me. You get what I'm saying? Hey, it's not just be there at 5. Now I'm going to be there 15 minutes earlier to show you that I'm committed to being there for you. You know. So that's what I would have to do with just the actions.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Because I feel like we are we're in a generation now of paying lip service. We're in a
Mm-hmm.
generation now where people talk more than they put action to it. I feel like, before it was like, you're not going to talk about all the great things that you're going to do. You're going to show the person all the great things that you're going to do. But it's now like, people are so smitten with words
Right.
and people have become more eloquent with the bullshit. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, baby, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then the person doesn't follow through, whether it's the man or the woman. There's an apology that's made. They make you feel great in the moment, and then they continue to do the bullshit that they're doing. So when there's no, what they call it, proof in the pudding, and there's no action behind your chat, then it's just talk. It's just noise.
But AJ, like you gotta understand, a lot of women are very different from how they used to be and what they are now. A lot of women have that mentality. Well, he won't do. I'll get somebody else to do now. Like I'll push him to the side real easy. Women now are like men sometimes.
Savage.
I'm serious. And like,
Yep.
well, what you say he's gonna do? What? Oh, don't worry about it. I got somebody else. You know what I mean? Like they'll tell you, yeah, don't worry about it. I got somebody else to take care of it for me. Don't worry about it. Oh shit. Oh, okay. All right. You know what I mean? So with nowadays with women, you have to be about what you say. You have to show them what you're saying, and then you have to act on it and do what you say you're going to do. Because if not, if you got a woman that has a career or has a business or has her mind on right, and you're telling her you're doing X, Y, and Z, you do X and Y, and you forget all about Z. She's going to remind you, you left Z out the picture. What
Right.
happened? And she's going to want to answer why Z was out the picture. So, like, you have to be on your, I'm going to say what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it.
Right. Because the thing is, at some point, again, it's like all these factors play a part in whether you question a person's, I don't know if loyalty is the right word, but I think it kind of weighs in on that. It's like, how important am I to you for
Mm-hmm.
you to follow through with the things that you say that you're going to do? So it's like if you say to me, like, if I say, Ramar, I need you to do this for me on Thursday, and you're like, yeah, I got you. And then Wednesday, I'm like, Ramari, remember that I need you to do this thing for me on Thursday. You're like, AJ, I got you. Don't worry, I got you. And then Thursday comes, and I'm like, so did you get it done? You're like, what?
Oh, shit.
Ah,
I forgot.
shit, I completely forgot that I stayed. I'm so sorry, AJ. I had all intention of, so then it's like, so I start to
I can't depend
wonder,
on him.
right, in the
Mm-hmm.
greater scheme of things, how important am I to you? And how much can I trust you? And when for me, like it's, but then again, it's kind of like an underlying question of loyalty, because it's like if it was one of your boys, who's one of your ride or dies, says to you, "Hey, Ramar, can you do this thing on Thursday?" You're up at the crack of dawn Thursday, making sure that you have all your shit in order so you can do this for your boy. But then me as your girl, I'm like, okay. And then the day of, you're like, oh, babe, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. I had every intention of doing it, and la la la. It raises questions about loyalty. Like, where do your loyalties lie? And not that there should be
But,
competition, but
but,
if
I'm going
it's
to be,
your girl and you know what I mean, like you have different relationships, so the levels of loyalty should be comparable based on the relationships that you have, if that makes sense.
but it also got to take it to the fact also, is this something he constantly do or he just forget one time?
Right.
So, if
Right.
it's something he constantly do, then He doesn't care as much as you think he does. But if it's something he forgot one time, babe, I totally forgot. I got you. I'm gonna do it right now. But
Right. Okay, but hold on.
If he does this all the time, like you tell him, hey, don't forget Thursday. I need you to come over here and take this out for me because I can't pick it up because the trash come on Thursdays. You know, my trash. You know, I throw a lot of things out. I do my cleaning on Thursdays, and I need to take this stuff out for me. And he forgets. Then he could probably make it up by coming a little later Thursday and getting it done for you.
Right.
But if it's something that has a deadline, then I will still be mad, but I will also be understanding. And I will ask questions like, what was you doing that you couldn't do it or that you forgot? Right. Oh, man, babe, I was in this meeting that went extra. Like, that's not my, like, if he was in a meeting and he couldn't get out of it, but then again, he also has to be the adult and be like, babe, I'm in this meeting still. I know you asked me to do something. I'm not going to be able to do it. Can you take care of it?
Right.
That's where the communication part comes in.
Because I would feel some type of way if it was your boys and you never miss a beat with them. But then here I'm asking you to and I remind you up until the day before and you're like, yeah. And then you don't do it. The first thing I'm going to say to you is like, yes, let it be one of your niggas that's asking you to do some shit and you're always there. But let me ask you and you don't come through the one time. Yeah, we're going to have beef. We're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem. But no, you're right. I mean, if all along he's been committed to his word and he's stood behind his word and he's done the things that he said that he's going to do, it would be unfair to weigh that one thing against him and question his loyalty based on how he interacts with other people. That would be unfair, absolutely.
But you know, but it also doesn't take away from his loyalty. Well, I don't think that he intentionally meant to do it. It's just, you know.
Yeah. Stop making excuses.
Loyalty, like you said, loyalty can go so many different ways. It can go so many different ways. Like you said, loyalty is a choice to some people, and loyalty sometimes loyalty is like respect. When I'm with you, you get the respect until you lose my respect, and you have to earn it back.
I'm trying to scroll back to see. Hello to everyone who's joined the conversation. I'm so sorry that we're not really saying hi to people. We're not trying to be rude. It's just because, you know, we're in the midst of this conversation. So anyway, did you get your statistics on the how many people think that you see? I can't trust you. You forgot.
No, I didn't forget. What had happened was every time I went to click on it, it kept showing the live. So I was like, all right, maybe I can't do it while I'm on the live.
Yeah, I don't think maybe it's not possible for you to do it while you're in here. So Mr. Wright had made a comment to say people's pride rises to high levels of conceit and they allow themselves to push away the people they supposedly love and care for. Mm-hmm. Prior to that, my brother said, and us men are not going to think that it's a big deal when it's the biggest. There's nothing wrong with, sorry, I'm trying to scroll and it's just not working out for me. I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with changing up how we do things. And it's true. Like, you can't be complacent in your relationships. You can't be complacent in your friendships and thinking that, okay, because we did something one way for 10 years, you know, on 10 years and one day, that might be the point at which things change and everything before that is no longer working and you need to kind of switch up the way that you do things. So then I asked you, so you don't believe that loyalty is a choice? Loyalty is something that's ingrained in people, or
I think loyalty is something that is engraved in all of us. It's a choice whether or not you do it. That's the only choice. I think the choice is whether or not you feed into being loyal, or you just going to be like, you know what, I'm gonna do shit my way, and I'm only loyal to whoever I feel I want to be loyal to. So. I don't think it's a choice. I don't think loyalty is a choice. I just think it's a choice to do it.
Okay.
Or to be loyal, basically.
So, okay. So let's do a different scenario. Not a couple scenario. Let's do a friendship loyalty scenario. So your best friends. Mm-hmm. Are about to do something that you know is wrong, and your loyalty comes into question because they want you to do this thing with them. Do you say to yourself, morally, I know this is wrong, and I love my boys, but I can't do this because I'm not trying to go to jail or trying to get in trouble or whatever it is, whatever the consequence is? Or do you say to yourself, you know what? They're my boys. Loyalty is a big thing. Let me just go on ahead and do this, and whatever happens, happens. If we get in trouble, we all get in trouble together.
Is this teenage years or grown man years?
Let's do grown man years, because when you're a teenager, you do dumb shit. You're not thinking about it.
Exactly. That's my point. See, so if we was a
Okay.
teenager and I didn't have my daughter, let's fucking do it. Whatever. But I have somebody to listen
Really?
to. I'm just saying. I mean, as kids, we do things stupidly because we're supposed to make mistakes and learn from them.
Right.
So as a kid, I would probably be like, yeah, let's go for it. Like, I'm a teenager. I don't care. I ain't gonna get in trouble, really. Like,
Right.
I'm a teenager. I'm gonna get a slap on the wrist. I'm gonna be all right. But as a grown man, you start taking the contemplation, like, oh, this might mess up my life. This might stop me from doing this. This might stop me from doing this. Listen, bro, I love y'all, but this ain't right for me. Like, you already know I got my daughter. I cannot afford to be away from her. She needs me here. There's already enough kids without fathers as it is. Mine ain't gonna be one of them. So I love y'all, but y'all on your own with this. And
Okay.
that's just how it would be.
So adult male scenario, slightly different.
Okay.
It's a week before you're supposed to get married.
Okay.
And your boys take you to Vegas for your bachelor party.
Oh shit, Vegas is trouble. I don't
And
want to go to Vegas.
unbeknownst to you, they have arranged for some clean women that they know from where you live to meet you guys in Vegas. And so now, you're like, okay, well, I'm engaged, but I'm not married yet. And your boys are like, you're engaged, but you're not married yet. And the young ladies are, you're engaged, but you're not married yet. And there happens to be a young lady that you've had curiosity about in past, but nothing ever gone for uno. So now you're in Vegas. Everybody's in this big suite. Alcohol's flowing. People are bundling spliff. I don't know if you do or you do not. And the vibe is nice. And that girl who you had interest in, but nothing ever gone for uno, comes on to you now. And it's saying to you, oh, Rmar, this is our last opportunity because, you're not married yet. So, you're still free to do what you want to do. What's going to go on for us? Don't worry. I'm not going to tell nobody. You ain't got to tell nobody. Come on, let's get it in. Come and get some of this goodness.
I might not be married, but I'm committed. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I put a ring on her finger, so I committed myself to her, so I wouldn't subject myself to that. And I would probably curse my boys out after everybody leaves. Like, why would y'all put me in that situation? And then there would be no more drinking. Once I see the women come in that I know from my hood, and I wouldn't even drink no more. I would stop drinking. I would literally
You've
stop
done
drinking.
one time?
I'm done. I'm done for the night.
Because you know what's coming.
The more I drink, the more I'm liable to make a mistake.
Right.
Because my sober self is going to say, yeah. My drunk self is going to probably be like, I mean,
the hemming and hawing.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But at the end of the day, they're going back to New York too. So they coming back too. Right? You say they're from my town. So I would honestly not drink no more. And I would definitely have a good time of my night. I would enjoy myself. I'm a Tifo wine every now and then. Yeah.
Yes, get in a bubble. Oy.
I'm definitely going to Tifo wine a little something because only dancing. I mean, she going to know I like soca parties anyway, so she know I Tifo wine every time I go out to a soca party. So it's not like the trust ain't there. So as long as I don't go past that boundary that we have set for us, then I think we should be cool. And then I would curse my boys out for setting me up like that.
Do you ever weigh your personal integrity and what loyalty means to you against people who are closest to you? So like your friends who are like your brothers. And when I ask that, meaning like if you know that one of them is doing something where they're fucking up and it's jeopardizing whatever friendship, relationship, or whatever, do you weigh your integrity and loyalty against theirs, or do you just say to yourself, you know what, they're grown, let them do whatever they're doing?
I wouldn't weigh my integrity against theirs, but I will always let them see it from the way I see it to get where I'm coming from my point of view. Because you can't put your loyalty and your integrity on anybody. They're going to do what they want to do regardless. But if you talk to a person, let them see where you're coming from and see how you see it, they're more inclined to be like, you know what, I get your point of what you're saying. Um, that's why I fucks with you, because you always take the time to explain or to let me see it from a different angle from what I'm seeing it. Because, you know, we all have that friend that just don't think things through and just like, nah, fuck that, we doing this. Nah, fuck that. Go get the burners, whatever. Bro, listen, 20 years, you get 5 years each bullet. Which one you want to do? You want to go, let this ride out, and just forget about it. We can talk about it another day. We go boxing, we can go kickboxing, we can go run, you get your frustrations out, but let's think logically about this. So it's not really about putting my loyalty on them. It's about making them see how it would affect all of us as friends and the damage it could do to us. We've been together 20 years. Now you want to throw that away. You go to jail 20 years. And, you know what I mean? We got to come up and visit you. Like, make them see the real part of it, you know?
Does that apply to personal relationships as well? Because you're talking about like the scenario that it's put, or that example was like, if it's like an out in the streets,
Mm-hmm.
what if it's,
If
you know,
if we at a club
you,
and my nigga has a girl at home and he's trying to take another girl home, nah, bro, you're not doing that on my watch.
really?
No, you're not doing that on my watch. You're not doing that
Awesome.
You're not doing that on my watch, because at the end of the day, then if it happens on my watch, then your girl will never trust me, and then I lost her loyalty. Even
Right.
though women are loyal to their girlfriends and not your boy's friends, but if she could trust him out with me, then whenever I say, yo, we going fishing, hey, go fishing. Like, go hang with your boy. Like,
Right.
but if it's that nigga that you always cheating with and doing, yo, Ron want to go play ball. I know damn well y'all ain't going to play no ball. What bitch y'all going to see?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm not
Right.
going to be that friend that's going to be like, well, I ain't see nothing. Do your thing. Nah, bro. You don't do that with me. Don't do that with me. Don't put that
Right.
around me.
Because you'd
I don't want you.
automatically be guilty by association.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't want that label, especially from somebody that's significant other or wife, because then it causes a strain on your relationship, because he has to do what's right for his girlfriend, unless he just don't care. He has to do what's right for his girlfriend. He has to make sure she's comfortable with everything. And if she's not comfortable with him hanging out with me, he's going to limit his time with me.
Right.
He's not going to, because it's making her unhappy. That's if he cares,
Right.
you know? So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know how much more there is to discuss on the
Word.
subject.
Guilty
I don't know if
by
there's anything
association.
additionally. Hmm?
The subject change said guilty by
Yeah.
association. I was like, yeah.
Okay. And that's a very real point, and that's actually a really serious thing, because it's like, if you're always the good guy, like, oh, Ramar is such a good guy and he's, has a great personality, why don't you spend more time with Ramar? But then she finds out that somehow every time you guys are all out together, her
Mm-hmm.
dude's doing something he's not supposed to do, then yeah, you become one of the bad guys, even
Yep.
though you're not the bad guy in any way,
Yep.
shape, or form. Like, you're the actual one who's saying, like, cut that shit
Yep.
out, let's go.
Right. Even if you're saying let's go, and she be like, that's why I tell my boys all the time, listen, if you go out and you do your thing, yo, I was with, oh, no, you wasn't, bro. Don't use me as a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Don't use me.
Yeah.
Don't use me, because when we have a barbecue for Father's Day or we have a barbecue in the backyard, your girl's looking at me. So, what did I do the other night? Because especially if we've been friends 20 years, she had that comfortability to come and talk to me without you even being there, because we've been friends for so long. And then you put me in a spot, especially if you don't tell me, you put me in a spot like, what we did. What did we do? Oh, you said, you get what I'm saying? And then, oh, so you lying for him now?
Right.
What are you talking about? Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So,
right.
It's just better to just always let people know, or your friends know, like, if you want to hang out, if you want to do something, bro, don't say you was with me. You can use one of the friends that's not in the circle.
Right.
Like,
right.
use the one that we just go, and maybe when we having a playing ball, he come pick up. That's our sixth man or something like that. Use him. He's just the extra backup. But don't use the top five. Like, keep the top five clean.
Right. Nick from Erotic Boudoir, she said to flip it and ask her, what did he say that we did? And whatever it is that she said, just agree, go with that scenario. But it becomes dicey because
women knows. Because the moment you say,
right.
oh yeah, we did that, we did. So why you didn't tell me that when I asked you? Women ain't dumb.
Right.
Women ain't dumb. And they're going to play like they don't know what they're talking about. They're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah. And then as soon as the barbecue's over, she's going to grill him. And then he's going to text me like, bro, what
right.
did you say to her?
Right. Because it's like, I remember this woman that I used to be friends with years ago, one day, like I went to her house and her mom asked the weirdest question and I didn't understand why until after. So her mom asked something like, oh, how was the trip to New York? I'm like, it was good. You know? And then, so I'm like in the dining room and I hear her talking to my friend Natalie. And then she's asking Natalie, like, so are you guys gay? Are you a gay? And Natalie's like, Mom, what are you talking about? She's like, oh, because you're always with Ava. Like, you're always going out and the two of you are always together and you're always this, that, and the third. So when she and I are alone now, I'm like, what's going on? She's like, well, for the past 2 months, every weekend, I've been going to New York. But I'm telling my mom I'm at your house. So I'm like, so you've been telling your mother every weekend that you're sleeping over at my house when I have no clue this is happening. Now your mom thinks we're in a full-fledged lesbian relationship. Not that that's like a horrible thing, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like, say something to me so that I know. Because when your mom's asking me, like, how's New York? I'm like, New York is great. Like, I don't know why she's asking that. So it's like, you know, you can tarnish a person's character and definitely bring that person's loyalty into question.
Yeah.
When you don't say anything. Like, you can't just take for granted that you are friends with someone or you have a particular type of relationship with someone, and so it's okay to tell whatever story you want to tell.
Because they got your back.
Yeah, listen to me, man. Leave me out. I had this conversation with Keely last week or so. I'm like, leave me out of it. Like, don't you know so many other people, not her, but use somebody else's name.
Right.
Use somebody else.
I don't blame you.
So did Mr. Wright say your mom thinks the girl wanted to be in your Nirvana? Man, that had to have been the strangest situation I was ever. And it was cool because she and I used to do everything together, and we used to hang out and we used to travel, and you know, we went to Barbados and we went somewhere. Like, we would travel all the time. So me not thinking anything of it, her mom thought we were like in this whole relationship when that wasn't even the case. It's just because she lived at home, there were certain things that she wasn't allowed to do. Like, she couldn't have a boy come over. She couldn't stay out past a certain hour. So her way around that was
to use you.
You know,
that was smart.
Huh?
That was smart.
No.
I mean, it was smart for her. She got to do what she wanted to do for like 3 months straight.
This is true.
So it worked for a little bit.
But you know what? Those things always come to light. It's one of those things, like, those things, no matter how long it takes, it will rear its ugly head at some point, especially when one person isn't informed about what's going on, and those things collide. When worlds collide, shit starts to fall apart.
It sure does.
Simple.
Definitely does. So, with that being said, loyalty, it's your choice to have it or not.
Or employ it, use it or not.
Or use it or not.
Everyone has loyalty. It's whether or not they want to activate
use
it.
Exactly. I think that's the logistics of it.
Would you stop being friends with somebody who continued to display that they couldn't be loyal? Like, that they constantly betrayed your trust?
Yeah. Because
trust is someone that you knew for a long time?
Yeah. I mean, I've stopped being friends with somebody I was friends with for like 20 years over something like that, and it took him to come and apologize and have a real man conversation with me. But things never really get all the way back. Like, we're cool, but wasn't like how we used to be.
Right.
So, because you don't know whether or not that loyalty is going to be trusted again, or whether or not you can trust him again. So you wait for him to show you that, you could open back up to them and give them that spot back. But if they don't want to show you that they want to do it, then you just keep them at a distance.
Right. So, I mean, there's definitely a correlation between trust and loyalty.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
Sure.
Well, Mr. Ramar,
That was
Mr.
awesome.
Amanda's dad.
Yes, Amanda. And listen,
Mr.
make sure y'all go check out. She got her own lip gloss about to start. She started her own business. I'm so proud of her.
Oh,
She,
yes, yes,
she,
yes.
got a,
Promote that.
she has her lip gloss coming out soon. It's called Jade Cosmetics. It's going to be awesome. So I'm so proud of her. So excited for her. And she starts college in September. So I'm just really, really, really excited for her. She's doing big things.
Okay, so for those of you who didn't hear the beginning part, he's not talking about me. He's talking about his daughter, Amanda. I'm just saying. No, because because everybody knows I'm a lip gloss. It's not me.
Yeah,
it's his daughter, Amanda.
Yeah.
I'm past college years. So his daughter, Amanda, has started her own cosmetics line, which is called?
Jade Cosmetics. It's her middle name, Jade Cosmetics.
Okay. And you said she's also starting school in the fall. College in the fall.
Yeah. Yes.
You are an awesome dad. That much I know. You're an absolutely awesome, amazing father. And I know that's she's everything to you. And she's a phenomenal young lady because you are such a phenomenal guy. Man, not a guy. You're a man.
Thank you very much. That's my baby.
So you also have you're a certified travel agent. Yeah, I know the world is starting to open back up and people are going to start to looking about leaving and going about their business and traveling to some other countries and all these wonderful things. So definitely check out his travel site, which is Rmar.
It's RRM Travels on Instagram. It's RM Travels on Facebook. And it's rrmtravels.com is my website if you want to check it out. But I just want to let people know that as a travel agent, I really am against people traveling this year, only because I don't want my clients to get stuck in a bad situation where they go to another international place and they suppose something's wrong with their temperature gun and you place higher your temperatures, they're going to self-quarantine you there for 14 days. Suppose you only have a 7-day vacation. You're stuck there for 14 days, your flight's messed up. So please, people, just be very, very careful with your traveling. I don't suggest you use a travel guide because I never want to force myself on somebody. I don't want to force myself to help people do it, but I think that if you just want to make sure you go, you just should get some good advice before you go, because I would hate to have people go on vacation and you can't really enjoy your vacation because you're stuck quarantined in another country and you're not really enjoying yourself.
So, imagine?
Yeah, that would be. And you only got
You're leaving your home country to go to another country to stay at your hotel.
So you lose your flight because one, you paid for 7 days, so your flight leaves in 7 days, but you're stuck there for 14 days. So now you got to rearrange your flight. That's going to cost you. Then you're going to have to pay your fee for a longer hotel stay because now they're going to charge you for where you're staying at. So, it's more, the money's going to add up more for you than it's going to be than enjoying the time out. So I would suggest you I honestly think 2021 would be the best time for everybody to travel abroad. Unless you're doing something like a cruise where you're on a boat and you're not really in another country, you're on a cruise ship and you can come back to port. That's like a little bit more better. But then again, you get stuck on a cruise ship. It's just so many different scenarios. So I just really think that just be careful what you're traveling to do and make sure you speak to somebody who's professional to give you sound advice about traveling. For real.
I'm trying to go home to Jamaica next month, but y'all don't follow me because I can quarantine.
I was trying to go to Jamaica too for Father's Day.
Yeah.
Which is like next week. But when I was reading up on it, I called a hotel and it was like, yeah, if they had the guidelines in place that people come and their temperatures are not what they need, they're gonna be stuck here 14 days self-quarantine. And remember, you pay for a 6 day, 7 night stay, you get stuck 14 days, that's money out your pocket.
I don't go to a hotel.
I mean,
I know. That's why I'm saying to people, don't follow me. Don't follow me because when I go home, I don't go to stay in a hotel. Don't follow me. Don't follow me.
So just be careful. And if you have any questions, you can always DM me and I'll answer them as best as I possibly can. That's open.
And I will make sure to tag you and put your information in the write-up. once
Sure.
these are posted. I just kind of post them really quickly and just put up a heading so that it can be posted, but I'll adjust it and include all your information. I'll also include Amanda's cosmetic. Like,
Yeah.
does she have a page that's up?
Yeah, she does. She has a page,
Okay,
Jade
perfect.
Cosmetics, on Instagram, JAIDE Cosmetics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't
So
see
yeah,
it,
we'll
it's
get all
on
that
my
information
page.
out.
It's there. Just tap my page on Humble King. Tap it. It's right there. You can just go straight to her page. If you want to check it out, it's on RM Travels. It's posted
Yes.
right there. So definitely.
Was it uniquely made? Yes. Portmore is exactly where I'm heading to. How did you know? Listen to me. I like everybody knows I go through withdrawal because normally, like at the beginning of the year and then closer to the end of the year, I go home twice a year.
Right.
And so, like, I haven't been home since last November for my birthday, and it's murdering me. Trust me, it's murdering me right now.
I
So,
know. You always on the move.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a wild child. I'm a free spirit. I'm a free
I
bird.
know. Listen,
I can't stay in one place for too
just
long. It sends me crazy. I
spread your
feel
wings
bad
and
for the next
fly.
person I get into a relationship with because he has to understand that
Yeah.
sometimes I just gotta go. Like, not to go do nothing, but I just gotta go.
Well, hopefully he has his passport. He'll be ready to go.
Listen to me. That's what I'm looking for. Have a passport. So I'd say, let's go. We're leaving for the weekend. Come
That's
on.
good. Thank you so much. I
Anyhow, thank you
appreciate
so
you.
much for having this discussion with me. I appreciate your
Nah, I
input
appreciate
and your insight and your feedback and answering all the questions and, just giving a real talk to the people them. I
it.
appreciate
Yes.
it.
All of them. Teeth and wine every now and then.
Yes, yeah, that wine might paralyze you. You're going. Carnival 2021, somewhere,
Yes,
somewhere
definitely,
2021,
definitely.
Carnival.
And I would suggest you start planning for it now because
Oh, it's gonna be
2021, when
crazy.
all the carnivals is going to be crazy because people missed out this year. They're going to be
Yes,
so booked so ahead of time. I really
yes,
suggest you get your rooms and stuff now because it's going to be crazy. And I think
yeah.
Miami Carnival is still going to be on for October. It all depends
Really?
on how bad the second wave is of this goddamn thing.
Yeah. I
If it's
honestly, I feel
bad,
like we're
then
gonna have to.
yeah, you might.
I
That's
think
why I
we're gonna
said.
end
I
up
tell
canceling.
everybody. That's why I say 2020 is a skip on everything this year.
Yeah,
I really advise people to skip it because we had a second wave coming. The cases are
yes.
still going up. In all the towns that they opened up, the cases are going up by the thousands. So
Yep. Are we
just be safe.
frozen? Are we buffering?
Oh no, my
Yes.
phone is dying, so it's telling me to charge my battery.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go anyways. I'm gonna log off. But thank you. I will
Yes,
talk to you later.
yes. Have a good night. Thank you very much. I
All right.
appreciate it. Thank you all
Thanks.
for having me. Have a good one.
And there we have it. That was our discussion on loyalty. Is loyalty a choice? I appreciate everyone who participated in the discussion. Humble King, thank you again so much for participating and for sharing your insights and your knowledge and your experiences and your thoughts. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who participated in the discussion, everyone who gave feedback and input in the conversations that happened in the background. I'm so sorry. I would say usually when I'm in talks with someone, it's difficult for me to scroll through. For whatever reason, the conversations kind of disappear with the comments. But I know that you guys are there, and I love and appreciate the input and the conversations that you have with one another, and the feedback and the love and support. So these two lives in conjunction will be posted on. I think it's IGTV now that it's posted on. I'll try to get them over to the Pum Pum Chronicles as well. So this is my moment to do my plug. So the Pum Pum Chronicles podcast, I'm the host, AJ Badass Jones. Every Wednesday we do a Wet Wednesday, adult discussions on sex, love, intimacy, and everything that relates to relationships. You can check out my podcast, the Pum Pum Chronicles, streaming on Apple iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Google Podcasts. I also have a YouTube channel, which is the Pum Pum Chronicles podcast. And of course, this is my personal page, badass_Jones_. I've also launched my Patreon, which gives you access to exclusive content that you will not see on my podcast page or my YouTube channel. There are exclusive videos. There are videos that are called the After Dark segment, which is an audio and video peep show. You can figure out what that means. there are pictures, there are opportunities for merch. There's a bunch of different levels and a bunch of different opportunities. So that is on my Patreon. You can find that at www.patreon.com if you insert and do a search for the Pum Pum Chronicles, or you can find it in my link on either this page or the Pum Pum Chronicles page. If you click the link tree, there's an option there to log into Patreon, and the tiers start at $5 and go all the way up to $1,000. The $1,000 tier is a highly exclusive tier and includes a whole bunch of stuff like me coming to your city for a personal one-on-one date and all these kind of things. So anyhow, King Spliff 40. I don't know who you are. I'm not really inclined to accept a personal request to chat at this point in time, but I appreciate the compliment. And with that, I hope everybody has a great night. Stay safe. If you are in the streets rallying and protesting, stay safe. If you're out in the streets just on a day-to-day basis, stay hydrated and stay safe. Look after yourself, look after your loved ones, and we will see you guys next week. Later.